for me. Also, what you described in terms of communication and something that I heard recently. I was actually with some wives that were giving some wonderful advice to someone who was getting married within that week. And so we're sitting and talking, and communication came up. And one of the wives was saying that she is more avoidant than her husband. Now, a lot of us that sitting at the table were like, oh, it's mostly in the reverse. Like the woman wants to talk, and the man's like,
Mm-hmm.
okay. But she was saying that she, experiences it in the reverse. And one of the things that they do, they have a notebook that stays on there, whether it's a nightstand or somewhere visible, I guess in their bedroom. And whenever one or the other has something that they want to talk about or express, and it doesn't always have to be bad. So that's another thing. Even if it's showing appreciation for something that they did, right? They write it in the notebook. And if the notebook is open, then the other person knows that there's something in there for them.
Mm-hmm.
And I thought that was great to consider doing for those who might need something like that, because one of the things that I wrestled with as I was learning to give my partner space to process is, well, I give you space to process, but what about the fact that I have an issue that I want to deal with right now? Right. Like I was like, I can wrap my head around being considerate of you, but when do I consider myself? And so something like this, I think, is helpful for that, because for
Mm-hmm.
me, sometimes I just need to get it out. So writing it down would definitely be helpful, even if it's not like having to say it to the
Mm-hmm.
person immediately, but I'm not holding on to it and therefore getting upset, getting sad, like whatever that thing is and whatever it would make me feel like, being able to write it down, voice note, whatever that is, to at least like, that's how I release it.
Mm-hmm.
Then I can leave it there until you've done your hocus
So,
pocus, and then we can meet,
all
back
right,
in the
let
middle.
me let me ask you this: what would you consider being more considerate for you specifically? Talking about it now, or processing so that what needs to be said is done in a less hurtful or angry or like, right, because in that person might be, well, I'm that person, hashtag boo, like let's not talk like you're not married, right? Like he might be in a certain space and he might say something in a way that does not translate in a healthy way in the moment, right? Like you want to talk in the moment, he may not be able to communicate healthily in the moment, so maybe him taking time is considering you so that I can say the right words.
Yeah,
Right,
no,
right. So like
and I'm not
what's
talking
the
about him considering me. I said me
Mhm.
considering me. So
Okay.
if I am considering you to the point where I feel like I'm doing something to myself that doesn't feel good, what can I then do to honor myself? And so I
And
said
that's for
something
writing
like
down.
writing it
Okay.
down is helpful to me. No, no, I understand that, which is why, I mean, the understanding of that, even though in the beginning it was like, what? Because it was not anything I had ever dealt with before. But I
Hmm.
will say, this is also the first, kind of, not kind of, this is the first relationship I've been that's not been volatile. Because, yeah, two people that got something to say right now. Okay, you see, then we got something to say, and then you got something to say, and oh, I got something to say. You got something to say back, okay? Because you're not gonna get the last word, okay? And what you got to say ain't gonna sting me worse than what I have to say. That's gonna,
Why are
So
I feel like you're in, like like you went to a
hey,
moment. I
it
don't know.
don't take me long.
I don't
I
know
know
who it was
exactly what
with.
that feel like. I remember what it felt like. So I was giving
Like
y'all reenactment.
I feel like you was feeling it right then. Like you took yourself back because
I was giving you my
you
Angela Bassett. I was
like,
giving you my
listen, because
Angela Bassett.
you was doing both sides of the conversation. I'm like,
I'm just saying.
oh,
I'm just saying. So
hey, listen.
yes, it
If
is.
we
It
can do some breathing
definitely.
exercises, like.
Oh no, child, please. It has definitely been beneficial, and I shared that because yeah,
Mhm.
you might not see how someone introducing something that's different from you could actually work out better. And it doesn't always feel good. I'm not gonna lie about that. I feel like also, and I want to say this, Just because someone takes time to process doesn't mean that they are going to articulate any better than the person that's ready. That doesn't,
That's not what that
right?
means. Yeah. Okay.
But everybody knows themselves. So if you say, I mean, how can I tell you, like, no, you ready to talk right now? Like, if you feel like it's going to take you some time, I appreciate that you would be putting time and thought and effort into engaging in a conversation with me.
Hmm.
Now, we going to engage. No, God, don't let it be 6 months from now when we engage. Now
Hmm.
I don't know if that has to do with Capricorn tendencies or what, but it'd be a thing. Um, but again, being willing to hear, listen, and accept others' differences can actually help to make us better,
Hmm.
And I know nobody wants to think they come into a relationship lacking or with weaknesses or opportunities, but we all do.
But
And
yeah,
everything that you thought was right, the things you grew up with in your household, God bless, they're not necessarily right or
yeah,
right for somebody else.